Welcome to this video. This video is going to bring you all the tips and that and the like essentials and must-knows to help make your travelling a lot easier to Thailand if you're looking to book to come here. Hopefully this video will give you a lot of insight and help for you. So we have 7 or 8 tips for you to help you on your next journey when you come here to Thailand.
So the first thing we would say is check that you're not being overcharged for something, i.e. make sure you check your bill or check to make sure that you're not paying for anything that you haven't ordered. And make sure as well that when they give you back your change, make sure you count it and make sure you've got the correct change before you sort of walk away.
Yeah.
This happened to us when we were coming back from Freedom Beach. They shortchanged us, didn't they? And it was only because I had checked the amount of money that they'd given us back and realised that they didn't give us enough change back. They made it into a joke, so it was it felt like it was intended, it wasn't an accident.
Yeah.
So that's just one thing, like it doesn't happen all the time, it doesn't happen everywhere.
Thai people are honest, it's 98% of Thais are very honest, it's only a small fraction, just like when you're back at home in your country or our country, London, same thing happens.
Just make sure you know what money it is, you make sure you know what the money is and make sure you check your change basically.
Especially with the coins here in Thailand, because the coins are quite hard, it's taken us about 9 days to get used to the coins, so just double check with them when you get here. Just Google the coins in Thailand. Hopefully that's a good little tip for you. It's only happened to us once here, and we've been here 12 nights. We've been Phuket, Khao Lak, we've done Elephant Hills and stuff, so like it's just a one little occasion that's happened to us. But just for you to be aware, make yourself aware of, just make sure it's kind of like a little scam thing that goes on in Thailand, but it's not very much. And going on from scams, actually, if you're going to Phuket especially and you're thinking about going Patong, once in a lifetime, you want to maybe
see a certain show.
Yeah, see a certain show with balls flying out of the Nevaeh and budgies being pulled out alive, may I say. This is kind of the biggest scam in Thailand. We knew a couple that paid, what was it, 1,500 or 3,000 baht each for a show and a drink, and it's like, that is ridiculous. That is like 70, 80 quid each for an hour show and a cocktail. So let's give you an average price. The average cocktail in Phuket was 250 baht. We're here in Khao Lak, it's a little bit cheaper because it's not too touristy. It's about
150 baht to 200 baht, I would say.
Yeah, so if you're going to do a show like that in Phuket, 250 baht for a cocktail, and if you're going to go see a show like that, you could probably get it to about 1,200 baht if you want to see that show. I mean, we didn't see it because we just got annoyed walking down Phuket.
Yeah.
But
our friends Danny and Diggy are actually living here in Thailand, and they did say to us that the biggest scam in Thailand is this certain show. Well, yeah. I'm not going to say it, but it is this certain show.
Yeah, so just a heads up for you on that one as well. So this next tip will be very handy for you indeed, because we didn't actually know this before we come, we sort of knew a bit, is taxis. So if you're going Phuket especially, download the Bolt app and grab, Bolt's the more well-used one in Phuket, and there's loads everywhere. And also Bolt, download it on your phone, you can put your card details in, but when you're ordering a taxi, you do not need a card registered on your Bolt app. You can actually order a taxi and pay cash, which we didn't know about actually, because we changed up a load of money on our card and we're like, oh, you can pay in cash. So I kind of wish we did that, and they're so easily available. So tips on Bolts: if you're going to do a longer journey than 10 minutes, I wouldn't recommend ordering a cheap Bolt, because
I think it's classed as economy.
Yeah, so our friends had like a boy racer Thai, and his car was so low it didn't have any aircon, because it was 38, 39 degrees and he couldn't go over bumps. He had to drive really slowly, but we recommend ordering like an XL or a van, like a full, like they're bigger vehicles and stuff, and they're just a bit more comfortable to ride in. So
just obviously note that they aren't licensed taxis. The licensed taxis have the green number plate.
Yeah, you can actually order a taxi through the Bolt app though.
Oh, can you?
Yeah, you can. Okay. You can actually order taxis. Some of the taxis do use Bolt as well, so you will get a licensed one now and then. We had a licensed Isuzu MUX, which is a big freaking pickup truck converted 4x4 that can take 7 people. So.
Equally, you can order your taxis through your hotel or resort that you're staying at,
but you will pay
more.
Yeah, so Bolts are the cheap. Bolts are actually half the price of taxis on the island of Phuket. And saying that, we're here in Khao Lak, we thought, oh, Bolts and Grabs, we can get them easily. But they're not actually available here in Khao Lak. So just a 10-15 minute drive to Khao Lak down the road on the main strips costing us 400 baht each way, so 800 baht. Like in Phuket, we could have driven from Coron Beach to Phuket town, which was 45 minute to now drive for about 300 350, 400 baht in an XL vehicle. Here you're paying 400 baht for a tuk-tuk with like a pickup truck with most uncomfortable benches on ever. Yeah, just be wary of that. Normal taxis will cost you double the price. Bolt is half the cheaper. So make sure you download the Bolt app and grab.
Definitely.
Have your details. And if you're going to buy a SIM, I recommend going on a website called mayamobile.com. You pay the SIM in dollars. We paid $11 for 5 gigabytes while we're here for 2 weeks, and you just pay for 30 days and that's it. And we haven't even used 5 gigabyte, and we've been on Instagram. It's just good to know maps on Google, ordering your bolts, that kind of stuff.
I was going to say, mainly for when you're out and about, for bolts and maps and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I would definitely recommend getting an eSIM before you come.
So hopefully that tip has helped you massively, because it helped us massively when we kind of knew and then we didn't know, so we can share this with you to make your journey a little bit easier.
Next tip is mosquitoes. The mosquitoes here are on another level. I have been bitten. I mean, I get bitten anywhere we go, but I have been bitten so badly here. And again, our friends Danny and Diggy told us to go to 7-Eleven and get their mosquito spray, which is what we've done. It's probably one of the better ones that we've used.
Yeah.
I still got bitten, but that's normal for me.
How much did it cost? About 175 baht, I think?
Yeah,
which is
it's really cheap.
Just under a fiver. It's really good stuff.
So yeah, either make sure you bring your own mosquito spray or just get the one from 7-Eleven, it's super cheap.
Yeah. Our tip, if you're going to spray the mosquito spray, don't do it in your hotel room, because you'll turn your hotel room into an ice rink. Go outside and do it on the concrete, because trust me, if you're wearing flip-flops, you'll probably break your back or something. So just a warning. I don't normally get bitten, but I've been bitten a lot here because it's the most humid place we've ever been to, and I've been bitten quite a lot. So, and that mozzie spray is just done it. And you can find mozzie spray with like 95% deep, but it's not good for your skin in 7-Eleven and pharmacies around here.
Yeah. So
our next tip for you is the toilet situation. So you might be out and about and you might need an emergency poo. My friend Tom is an expert at this, because he goes a lot during the day, and he told me to tell you, make sure, because a lot of these places and restaurants and that kind of lack toilet paper.
Not just that, it's the toilet facilities aren't as us Westerners.
Oh yeah, so there could be like a hole in the floor where you've got to squat and stuff. So
we haven't come across that, but they're not, they're not very hygienically.
Oh no, nowhere near as clean as what you find in your
so
hotel.
make sure you go to the toilet before you leave, just in case.
And so you don't get a shock in the system, when you do go toilet in Thailand, you can't put toilet paper down the toilet. You have a little bum washer, open your legs, spray. I might buy one when we get home in our toilet, because I've actually liked it, but you got to spray and then put the tissue in a separate bin, so just a little heads up on that one. It's not like we are in Western countries.
And I would recommend taking sort of like handy sort of tissues out with you, just in case you do need to go to the loo, and a lot of these toilets don't have tissue. Yeah,
and hand gel, just in case.
Yeah.
You never know.
So yeah, that's enough toilet talk.
Don't get caught out. Our next tip for you is trips. Now in Thailand, like here in Khao Lak, Phuket especially, you walk out, there are shops, and I kid you not, every, I don't know, not even within 50 yards of each other. There are so many. You can like barter with trips at your hotels. You might have someone, if you booked it for your tour rep or something, come in and sell you a trip. Let's give you an example. At Phuket, we're looking at like PP Islands, 3,900 baht each, and
that was from our tour operator, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it includes insurance where you're on the trip. And most of the trips, like they recommend Monkey Island, but how on, because it's insurance and monkeys are unpredictable, 10 people a day in Thailand get bitten by monkeys, and you need a 14-day course of rabies shots, which will cost you about £100, or that'll be about 5,000 to 6,000 baht worth, and you have to go every single day if you get bitten by a monkey, because it's got sharp canines. And most of these other tour companies, if you go out on the street, don't have insurance, and you're paying for...
Yeah, I mean, we spent about, I want to say, a good 2 hours in different sort of shops.
Oh yeah, we went in about 15 different shops asking.
Just asking, and it's really overwhelming. There's so many different companies that, or so many different tour offices that offer trips to, say, PP Islands or James Bond Island. It's overwhelming and hard to choose which one. Yeah,
but there's a tip for this. Some of them go, half price, 50% per couple, so you'd be paying 2,000 baht for the both of you for an all-day trip, but it just comes with a warning. 1, you might be on a trip that's not English speaking or in your native language. 2, you won't have a clue what the hell they're saying, and you won't have any insurance.
I think that's the biggest one. It's
the
comfort.
ride might be uncomfortable. You might not get food, you might not get drinks. So in our experience, it's worth paying a little bit more with a tour advisor. So we had an experience with ATVs. We didn't book through our tour rep. We thought, we can get ATVs cheaper down, and we bartered them down, and we saved what, 1,600 baht between us, a couple, and it was like we had tour guides that didn't speak a word of English, so we're telling them, they took us on the most. I've done quad bikes in 17 different countries around the world, and these quad bikes were the worst I've ever done. And they took us in the jungle, and it's like hills at a 30-degree angle, and then they're like kept skidding the quad trying to stop.
It just wasn't safe. It was honestly a terrifying experience.
Yeah, and our videos on our 360, like if you haven't watched our Thailand videos, going back looking at the videos doesn't even show you how sketchy it is, but it was like one of the worst trips we've done. And tonight, when you're coming here to Thailand with trips, do not be that tourist that is, how can I put this, like not conscious of how animals are kept and welfare wise, because a lot of the trips will sell you elephant trekking where you sit on an elephant's back. Now you wouldn't like it if I sat on your back every day for 8-9 hours a day, because you think how much elephants would feel having tourists on their back, or you shouldn't be getting in the waters bathing with them as they're natural animals.
Do your research, find somewhere, if you are interested in coming to Thailand, and a lot of people come to Thailand because they want to spend some time with the elephants. Do your research, make sure it's ethical.
Yeah, don't...
Because there are places in Thailand that are ethical, i.e. we went to Elephant Hills. Yes, we paid a little bit more to go to Elephant Hills, but it's a very ethical place for them. You're allowed to make their food and feed them, you're allowed to stroke them, but you're not allowed to bathe them, you're not allowed to ride them.
Yeah. And
they're very well kept. Well, not even kept, but they're in sort of like the rainforest, aren't they?
You can tell they're happy as well, like we know animal behaviour and stuff. Yeah,
just do your research. Just don't be that person who contributes to
cruelty of animals.
Cruelty.
Just one thing I take from this video, please do your research before coming to Thailand. Do not contribute in bad animal behaviour.
It's very sad to see them. You see a lot, I'm getting upset thinking about it, but you see a lot of them if you're going to go to the Big Buddha in Phuket, you will see chained up elephants. I can't even.
Baby ones as well.
Right, stop.
Yeah, so as we're saying, baby ones you'll see chained up on the road. Maybe like an elephant that's 2-3 years old that's made to sit there in this tiny little pen, not be able to roam freely, made to do tricks, and it's totally
shackled up on the side of the road basically, and it's a very sad sight. Just don't be that person. That's all we want you to take away from this video is don't be that person. Please don't be that person.
Yeah, don't contribute towards it because you're
allowing it to happen and carry on.
Yeah, and you're encouraging it to happen.
If people keep doing it, if tourists keeps doing it, you're lining their pockets for them to be able to carry on doing this very cruel act to animals.
And there should be in the wild, in like Khao Sok National Park, where they should be able to roam in the jungle freely without all this worrying. There should be normal elephants.
Yeah, no, I mean just with trips, obviously make sure you take enough sunscreen with you. Yeah. Because it is very hot here in Thailand. If you've never been before, make sure you pack extra sun cream. Like if you think you've got enough, pack another bottle.
Yeah, and also do yourself, even if you're really good on boats. We've had a few people on boats that are really good. Bring some travel sick tablets. We've come across a few girls and that have been really sick.
Yeah.
If you decide not to do snorkeling on the trip, because there's a lot of boats going and you get the wakes of the boat, you'll be sitting there and the boat will be doing this. So we were like this for 40 minutes and I was like, oh my God, I've just got to look at the floor of the boat because I'm just going to throw up in a minute. So just a tip for you. And also if you're on these big boats that have got 3 engines, 750 horsepower, if you're at the back of the boat, it's going to be very noisy. It's going to be around 90-95 decibels, which will make you deaf. And these trips are about an hour to an hour and a half to get to PP or like Similin or Surin.
But it'll also be quite sort of steady, whereas if you sit up front, you're going to have less noise, but it's going to be bumpier.
Oh, and you can get burnt. So it's up to you. You can go deaf or you can be burnt. It's entirely up to you what you want to do.
So our next tip is dining out. So when you dine out, you'll see obviously on the menu you've got starters, appetizers, and obviously your mains, which is pretty much standard across a lot of countries in the world. Here, if you order starters or appetizers,
I'm just laughing because it's just funny thinking about it.
It took us a little while to sort of realise that it doesn't mean the same thing. So the starters will come out with your mains. So they'll bring the starters out and then they'll bring their mains out.
And you'll just be overwhelmed on your plate. You're like, Jesus, I've got like 2 starters that I've ordered and then got main. So we went to, let's say like one of the restaurants, went to Three Monkeys restaurant, beautiful.
Lovely.
So we ordered some starters and then we had a big bowl of rice between me and Ellie and then a pad thai each. We had like 6 plates around us. We're like, where the frickin' hell do we start?
So just be warned that all your food comes out in one go.
Yeah.
So don't expect if you're from the Western world, starters usually come out first. They come and take those plates away, and then you wait, and then you have your main. It's not like that here in Thailand. They don't understand it's just here's all your food. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Basically.
Oh, also, if you're not happy with your food, make sure you don't eat half of it and then send it back, because they'll charge you for it. We had issues in a restaurant. We wouldn't have seen it in our vlogs or anything, but we had an issue where the pizzas we ordered were basically pants, the dough was soggy, the cheese was crap, you pick it up and everything just slop off. We're like, we're not eating that. They actually forgot to bring out a pizza, and then they tried to charge us for it. And he goes, oh, I'm going to call the police. I was like, what's the police going to do over a bleeding pizza? But so if you're not happy with a meal, don't touch it. Have a look at it, don't take a bite out of it, because they'll probably charge you for that bite. Send it back to the kitchen, because then they won't charge you. So just be wary on that, on our experience. We always have these experiences, it's fun.
Hey, it makes travelling a bit more fun.
Yeah, it does. Okay, the last tip we have for you. When you're in the shops, especially like, you'll see a lot of shops in Thailand where they sell fake like trainers, t-shirts. So they're quite good. Like, you look at them, they're quite good fakes, but haggling in shops, you can haggle for like a normal taxi. So like, give you an example, Ellie wanted some New Balance trainers. We looked in Patong, and they were like 1,600 baht, which is about 35 quid for a New Balance. They looked really decent, didn't they, New Balance?
But they weren't real.
No. So I could just go, oh, I'm not interested. And as soon as I turned around and walked out, he knocked 500 baht off the price. So just make sure you're firm. Say to them, look, if you're looking for something, give them a price. Like, say, if they said 1,000, go 100. Go low, and they'll be like, oh, no, and then they'll go 800, and then you go 250 or 300, and then you slowly meet in the middle, and you get the price of like maybe 350, 400 baht.
Oh, go in with a price in your mind that you know that you don't want to pay any more for.
But don't take the piss, because it'll just be like,
obviously, don't take the mick, because you know they essentially they've got to make a living. It is their jobs at the end of the day, but. You know, if you have an idea in your head as to what you want to pay for something, have that in your mind, have that in the back of your mind, and just stick to it.
And because you're tourists, they will give you inflated prices, so just be aware of that.
Yeah.
That's all our tips for this video. So if you're one of these viewers who've tuned into this video and you haven't watched any of our Thailand series, I'd recommend you go watch them. We'll put the little playlist at the end of this, and we really hope these tips have helped us. If you go in Thailand, give us a message, let us know if these tips have helped you. We'd really like to know. If you want to know anything else, drop us a comment down below, and we'll try and answer the best we can.
Yeah.
And with that being said, smash the thumbs up button, because it really helps our channel and it pushes the video out to other travellers like yourself, and helps the algorithm. And make sure you subscribe to have more adventures.
With that being said, we will see you in the next series.
Yep. See you soon.
See you soon.
Ciao.
Bye.